Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and in today's video we'll be talking about some of the better changes happening for World of Warcraft for Season 4 Mythic Plus changes. We're going to be covering a bunch of nerfs that are happening to a variety of mobs and a couple dungeons in general, as well as some of the boss nerfs that are going to be hitting before Season 4. We also got changes to the mount that you will be able to unlock for the Season 4 for doing Mythic Pluses, and how Blizzard changed it so it's much easier for you to unlock across multiple characters. And we got a couple of encrypted cinematics still happening for patch 8.3, some of the bigger cinematics. Hopefully there's going to be some Shadowland stuff. Before we go into some of the updates, first of all, if you're someone who is playing any classic World of Warcraft and you are recently found yourself stuck on a server that is dominated by the Alliance or Horde, Blizzard is going to continue free character moves until December 6th and 5th. So better take advantage of any of the moves available for your server, and might be a good idea to start planning on a new character. A lot of people have been reporting a classic that with the PvP Phase 2 being out, the honor farming has been ridiculous, as the BGs are not open, so everybody is just getting camped out in the open world. Whichever faction dominates the server dominates every other player on that server. Some people even found themselves wishing they would have played on a PvE server rather than a PvP server. So take advantage of any of the free character moves happening, and does make me wonder if Blizzard is going to add paid character transfers for classic World of Warcraft. Let's first dive into some of the Mythic Plus dungeon changes that are happening for Season 4 in patch 8.3. First of all, Operation Mechagon was only a Mythic 0 dungeon. That's a long 8-boss dungeon, but now for Mythic Pluses is getting split into 2 dungeons. This is very similar how in Legion, when Karazhan was introduced, it was later split for Mythic Plus as to Upper and Lower Karazhan. So we're going to have the outdoor and indoor version of Operation Mechagon. Off the bat, we can see just about every single trash mob and every single boss mechanic is getting fairly nerfed for Operation Mechagon. I guess the dungeon itself with the scaling for Season 4 was just obliterating people, and people were getting literally giga-zapped left and right. So Blizzard is going to be nerfing every single mechanic and even trash. Even certain mechanics where players are supposed to do more damage to an enemy, they are increasing how much damage players should do them. It is expected that Operation Mechagon dropping on Season 4 in 8.3 should be a very exciting dungeon to tackle with Mythic Plus affixes, but also should still be a fairly challenging one, and even with all these nerfs, expect to get one-shot and obliterated by certain mechanics. We also got some must-have changes for Freehold. If you've ever tried to do Freehold at a higher key, even at 15, especially on Tyrannical, the key starts to feel like a little bit of a drudge. First of all, the first boss has been pretty overtuned and had to be adjusted for the damage that he does that basically almost one-shots you. You have to do some crazy cheesy things. There's a couple walls next to the boss arena. They're like parts of a boat or parts of a ship scattered to the side, and people used to hide behind those just to avoid the damage of that ability in case you were targeted by it. So people had to be fighting the boss, sneak away behind the wall for a second right as he shoots, then come back out. The boss itself, in the fight itself, can be punishing if not done right, and it's perfectly okay if you do get wombo comboed, like if you get hit by the Squawk's droppings, which is the bird from the first boss of Freehold, but also get shot by the main guy. So both of the shots themselves already one-shot players as is on higher keys, so Blizzard is nerfing both of the shot-based abilities. Also, if you are unlucky to face into Eudora on a Tyrannical week on a high key, again, another boss that you have to really go for crazy cheesy strats of hiding behind a pillar every time she's about to shoot you. The boss itself has a mechanic which should be a one-shot if not avoided, but then there's another mechanic where she just targets a player and can one-shot him if the key is high enough. So Blizzard is toning back the damage on those. Very needed, because this will allow players to actually have some ways to outplay the dungeon and play the mechanics that were intended, rather than getting one-shot because the dungeon is too high of a level. We also got to talk about the Mythic Plus achievements and the amount that you can earn from it, and the best change that Blizzard did for the way you acquire the achievements. Sometimes you start, let's say, a seasonal Mythic Plus thing for BFA, and along the lines you decide to change your main, change your other character, and the way the Blizzard generally does achievements is they have you do all the parts of the achievement on one character. With Season 4, we have a nifty new achievement as well as better rewards for doing Mythic Pluses, and for doing all 15s on a Mythic Plus level, not only do you get a title, but also you get a mount. So a lot of people are going to want to try to get into Mythic Pluses and try to do at least all the dungeons at a level 15. Now 15 is a little bit more challenging than a 10, but the rewards are going to be a lot higher. And for players that know what's going on, any spec can work at a level 15. Trust me, I know this from experience. So Blizzard made it easier for players to use multiple characters to get that achievement. So the achievement is actually going to count towards a count wide. So let's say there's a dungeon that's great for Restoration Druids, and you are a healer main, you have a couple different healers nearby, you will take Restoration Druid for a couple dungeons for a week. Then you'll go maybe on your Holy Paladin and do a couple dungeons there, then maybe certain dungeons with a different group, you might be able to finish up on a Disc Priest. So Blizzard is allowing players to get their 15 dungeons done on multiple different characters for that achievement for the mount. So let's say you are someone who's a healer main, you have a variety of healers, or maybe a tank main who has a variety of tanks, or a DPS main. Maybe the circumstances came to that you simply don't enjoy the current spec you've been playing for a while and it's time for a change. Blizzard is not going to punish you for changing to a whole new character. Instead, they're actually going to allow you to keep all the progress you have account wide just for this achievement, which is super exciting because of a couple different changes happening to classes in patch 8.3. Maybe your guild will have you change to a whole nother character just to accumulate for the changes in the brand new raid environment. Maybe it's a perfect opportunity for you to try something new before Shadowlands hits. So it's a perfect opportunity for anybody, and there's literally zero punishment for it. I think it's an awesome change for Season 4. We also got 2 encrypted cinematics for the patch 8.3, and this is exciting because of what we got with patch 8.2 with those encrypted cinematics. With patch 8.2, we got the Saurfang ending when it comes to his legacy, and Saurfang's storyline being ended with a war campaign for Battle for Azeroth, and some of the cinematics that kind of culminated to it. So with 8.3 adding 2 fresh new cinematics, we only are left to wonder what those could be. Of course, they're gonna do something that has to do with N'Zoth, most likely. Some people have suggested maybe Rathian and Anduin are going to meet back up again. Maybe it'll be one of the minor cinematics that isn't gonna be as massive as we expect it to be. But what I'm hoping it might be is maybe one cinematic that tells us a little bit more about Shadowlands. Maybe a cinematic that goes more into Bolvar and the Death Knight introduction, which I think could be very, very exciting. Of course, maybe there's gonna be just something plain, but I'm hoping either it is related to Death Knights or something has to do with Shadowlands, even a little bit of a taste for us to check out at some point during patch 8.3. Either way, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. There's a lot of things to watch out for when it comes to patch 8.3. It looks like Blizzard is adjusting classes just by a hair more on PTR. So I do want to do a full video talking about every single class change that's happening for 8.3, but we'll have to wait until the patch is closer to the release date. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see all of you guys in another video.